Seeing from that entire room, and then specifically, what do you see out across?
Well, I think the biggest thing is obviously the new room. You get 4 new guys, and I was thinking about it as I was coming over here. We lost probably 1,000 plays. 3 seniors that played a lot of snaps and almost 500 yards receiving and 47 catches and 8 touchdowns. So productivity. So we're looking to obviously replace that. We're excited about the new guys we've gotten, and as far as Jerry Cross, is that who he is? Jerry came to us, again at mid-year like the 3 other guys with him. The biggest thing is football IQ. I think he really understands football, and obviously at 270, he can do some things and run and catch, and, it's just continuous development, but you really like where he's at right now at practice 7.
And then how do you, obviously tight end, Memphis uses them in the receiver room a lot. What are you looking in terms of their pass catching ability? What are you seeing out of that?
I think the biggest thing is really the whole entire room is just really natural pass catchers, guys that can catch it in space, in traffic. And so I think they're going to be a really productive group, and it's always a position I think you're going to play multiple guys, with the physicality of it. Everybody's going to have a little nuance. They're sort of all similar build to 6'5", 250-ish or bigger. And so guys that can run, and put their face on you, but they can run down the field and catch a football and make a play.
And then are you, at this particular time in spring, are you more focusing on the route running or whatever, or is it more blocking right now? What are you kind of honing in on at this particular time?
The one thing is in coaching, you enjoy coaching, so it's fun getting a new group and really, bringing them from the beginning stages of learning our offense. But really, I think just like any focus, really each spring is fundamentals, and got to get back to basics of, steps and hand placement, eye control, and just being in the right position and really understanding the base play, but then what are scenarios that come out of that, what they show us in defense, and you see little wrinkles that happen during the day. And so there just needs to be continuous growth really throughout spring football, and then it continues through the summer, and got to be ready by September.
What was the navigating the Lancaster situation in terms of he's not going to be here, he's going to be here in terms of roster building and just how you prepare?
Well, I think initially it was a bonus, obviously to have a guy back that's first team all conference, and then once we knew he was not back, we're very fortunate we sort of filled the room with the guys that are here. And so we're really excited about this group, bringing them forward and just keep moving them forward, and excited about what their potential is here this fall.
What about some of the young guys that have been in the room? Obviously, no Jerry, but the guys who've been in the room for multiple years are excited.
Yeah, we've had, Christian Ross is somebody that's been with us for 3 years, and Luke Logan has been with us for 1 now. And so those are the returning kind of guys. And then we brought the true freshman, Jonathan Harding, and then Bryce Anderson is a junior college kid out of Iowa, and then another junior college kid, Matt Adcock. So you've added the room with guys that are experienced that have played college football. And so, they have a football knowledge basis, and they got a physicality about them.
Where's Christian in terms of where he was when he got here versus where he is now?
Christian has come miles, and I just think that the tight end position, the good ones, never played tight end in high school. They played quarterback, receiver, defensive end. He was kind of one of those guys that basketball player, and so, but big frame. So he's really came in at maybe just over 220. Now he's a little over 250, can run. So it's the developmental piece of really learning a position. He played a little bit in high school, but it's the physicality part of it too that's new. But he has had great growth in the last year and has a different mentality. And maybe it's because you got 3 seniors ahead of you last fall. He's working to get ready and missed a couple weeks with an injury, but he's really in a very good place right now.
How has this offseason been just for the entire coaching staff of, kind of honing in on your coaching, just because there are so many new guys and just kind of starting back kind of from square one with the roster?
I do think there's an energy about yourself as a coach. You're excited to teach football, so it's fun to teach new guys football. I do think in the landscape that you're in, that you're going to have new players, where really it was probably 2 or 3 back in the day, looking at a guy strange if he's a new transfer. And now I think you have to, as quick as you can, you have to build team chemistry and teach your offense and defensive schemes and coach fundamentals. And so you have a short window to do that. And it's an 8-month window where maybe we do have the Christian Rosses that have been here 3 years, but it used to be program guys that learn the offense, like literally for 4 years. And now they're here in January and they got to get ready in 8 or 9 months. And so maybe it's exponentially faster, but you got to simplify, I think, a little bit what you're doing in the thought process.